want to watch.
Guys, welcome to Fatberg. I got another video ready for you. It has been a minute. Videos are going to be a little sporadic if that hasn't been made apparent already. I'm trying to keep up with things a little bit, and I have a lot of shit queued up that I just haven't had the time to do. But I got this one here that I've been meaning to do for quite a while now, and yeah, we're gonna knock it out because eventually we're going to dig into this topic more, and I wanted to kind of start from the beginning, so to speak, the beginning of where we will be covering at least. And today we're going to be talking about the first Cartel video and well, do we want to call this guy La Barbie or Edgar Valdez? Well, he's got two last names. I don't know how this works. I was going to ask, but Edgar Valdez Villarreal. I'm going to call him Valdez. The first Cartel video. This is an interesting topic. So let's start with the background of Edgar Valdez or La Barbie.
On this night that President Calderon of Mexico is in Washington, somewhere a kid from Texas is watching the world from the shadows. How did a Texas high school star become one of the most wanted men in the hemisphere, accused of being behind some of the horrible epidemic of murders across the Mexican border?
Edgar Valdez Villarreal was a Mexican-American drug lord who went by the nickname La Barbie. He gained the nickname during his high school years in Texas because of his blonde hair, blue eyes, fair skin, and I guess shocking good looks. These not being dissimilar to that of a Ken doll. And I just realized after saying that, I want to point this out. There's not a lot of things that like terrify me, right? I don't mean that to be like braggadocious or anything. There's a lot of shit that I just don't really consider, or I just don't see as that scary. The cartels terrify the fuck out of me. I reading into the cartels in the past few years is one of the few things that is actually like I have lost sleep over it. Reading about like Funky Town and things like that. If you're watching this channel, you know what that is. This isn't one of those things, but I should state that I'm scared of these guys. I'm not making fun of them. I'm not trying to fucking poke the bear here. You guys have made your point. The cartels are one of the few groups out there that will go after dumbasses like me on the internet for running their mouths, and I want to make that clear. I'm scared. I'm not making fun of you. I'm being a wise ass. So Valdez had a history of criminal behavior starting in his teen years when he was charged with negligent homicide for apparently running over a middle school counselor with a truck. He was 19 at the time. I don't know where the counselor came into play here. But eventually, Valdez entered the drug trade by selling weed in Laredo, Texas. He would then be indicted for drug dealing, and to escape justice, he fled to Mexico, where he would join the ranks of cartel organizations. Pronunciation, not my strong suit here, but he worked for the Beltran Leyva cartel for years as a lieutenant before infighting led to a change of leadership, eventually shifting control to Valdez. And during this time, or maybe as a leader, he was also working with like the DEA and the feds over in the US, so he was kind of like a double agent almost. Now, however, in 2010, Mexican police tracked Valdez to Mexico City, where he was arrested, interrogated, and confessed to many of the charges against him. Finally, in 2015, he would be extradited back to the States and sentenced to 49 years in federal prison. Strangely, however, in 2022, it would be reported that Valdez was no longer listed as being in federal custody. And at this time, the BOP has refused to comment further on his status, so we don't really know where he is or what's happening to him. And again, coming back to me running my mouth, he was in prison in Florida, so Yeah. It's strange that such a like a high profile like cartel drug lord could kind of like disappear within the federal prison system, but it's something to do with like confidentiality and shit. The feds aren't saying anything. But I mean, it could be related to him being an informant. Maybe he was somehow put into some sort of witness protection. Maybe he isn't in prison but is being watched somewhere and they just can't talk about it because he would immediately be fucking killed. But, yep. Presumably he's alive. Now, with that short bit of background, let's talk about the video and where it came from. So, La Barbie or Valdez would, in a weird way, make internet history.
Police say you can hear La Barbie's voice interrogating these men just before they're executed. And there's more.
In 2005, a hit would be placed on Valdez. 4 men would be sent after him. The men seemed somewhat confident in their ability to deal with this one American who I'm sure they viewed as sort of playing Sicario at this point. One of the men even brought along his girlfriend and her daughter, thinking they could use the time as a vacation once the hit was dealt with. However, Edgar Babyface Valdez, I gotta stop cracking jokes, was alerted of the hit and had his men ambush the 4 would-be assassins and take them to a safe house. It was reported that Valdez refused to harm the girlfriend and her daughter and actually paid for them to be bussed back to where they came from. Now, what would come to light, at least partially, is what happened to the hitmen in question. A video would surface online of their execution and part of their interrogation. This would become the first cartel gore video. This happened in 2005. This was before the CJNG was even a thing. The cartels were always doing horrifying shit, and they were, publicizing some of it. I mean, however you want to word that. We knew they were awful and bad stuff was happening, but this is when it entered the internet lexicon, so to speak. I mean, cartel gore videos are infamous now as some of the worst pieces of media that just exist altogether, even to an extent. And this happened people were comparing like Facebook had only been out for about a year at this point. It was so fucking long ago now. And I'm sure at the time people were shocked. This, it made its way into the news even. And I've never watched it all the way through. I know exactly what it details. It's a 4-minute long clip. And, well, we're going to watch it. And, I talk about it a lot where, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. I kind of do want to see this one because it is somewhat historic and it, relates to... I don't know how you want to word him. It relates to a significant aspect of cartel history. So let's take a look here. I should also note that there was a point in time where apparently this was considered like lost media or something. At least I found a bunch of Reddit posts of people trying to hunt this down. It isn't. It's very easy to find. I found it in a matter of seconds, and let me bring this up. Oh, wow, that is very low res. It's just a little tiny cube on my screen. So again, this is a 4-minute long video. This was linked from documenting... I'm going to censor that. I kind of have a policy of not sharing these things. I don't think anybody should watch this stuff. I'm doing it because I know the kind of fucked up I am. I'm not going to suggest or... people ask for it a lot. Yeah, I'm not sending this stuff to anybody. You can find it if you want to see it. It's not hard to find. If I can find it, you can find it. So 4 minutes, 21 seconds. Let's begin. And this was filmed with like an actual camcorder, This is very low res, low quality. The audio quality is very low. They're talking right now. I don't understand what they're saying. And even if I spoke that much Spanish, I don't think I'd be able to understand what they're saying. They honestly look pretty checked out at this point. I think they are aware that this isn't going to end well, and they're just trying to get the show on the road. One guy's talking, everybody else is quiet. I'm curious if you actually see Valdez in this video, because he's the one doing all this. You, like, can't see anything until they zoom in. There's even, like, artifacting and shit. Like, they're filming this on VHS. I figured that this was digital still. They just do not look good. I don't know how long the prior interrogation went before they got to this point where they started filming. But clearly they've been pretty thoroughly fucked up. One of these guys has his eyes locked on something in the corner of the room. One of the guys, the guy who's talking, he's starting to like nervously twitch. I think something's going on behind camera, like they're prepping a gun or something. I think it's starting to kind of hit home for him. I wish I could have found a full transcript of this. Third guy talking now. Shaved head. I can probably show you guys quite a bit of this leading up to what happens. Fourth guy. Wow. Almost doesn't look real. They ask him a question, and then a gun comes off camera, and they just pop him, and he's checked out. He's not checked out, he's fucking done in. Something about it, like this video quality. It just, everybody's fucking dead silent now. No questions, nobody's moving, nobody's making a sound. That is fucking ominous as shit. Again, they're zooming in on the guy, and because of the quality, you truly can't really see. And then it's done. Wow. What's the word I'm looking for? I said ominous, but that's not quite right. But something about the, like, because again, the guy, they ask him something and he starts speaking. Let me pull these fucking things out. And he starts speaking, and they don't even give him a chance to really say anything. They just kind of pop him, and then it's just immediate. The room is just fucking, it just goes cold. That's haunting. There we go. That is a haunting thing to see. And I imagine back in 2005, when things like that just weren't as common or as, like, in your face, that was probably just truly, truly horrifying. Wow. Something about that, because it's not very graphic, but again, it's just fucking cold. It's fucking cold to watch. And in recent years with the CJNG, like, they've kind of gone for more just visceral, like, shocking things, like we're monsters. But this is something else. Like, you will just be killed if you fuck around like this. So there were rumors that there was a longer version of this video that showed what happened to the other three men. It was either 2 or 3 of the bodies were never found. The guys were never seen again, so they were obviously killed to some extent. We don't know if they were tortured or, fucking funky town somewhere. I imagine they were just executed off camera and dumped someplace where they were not located. But that's a terrifying fucking video. If I saw that in 2005, that probably would have traumatized the shit out of me. Again, it's truly not that graphic. You don't really see much. There's blood. The Bud Dwyer video is more graphic to see than that, but the actual just vibe of everything there. And again, that immediate shot, it just, something about it looks fake. Like I watched August Underground recently, and that like VHS quality, I almost attribute it to things not being real nowadays, because you just don't see things that low quality anymore. It almost looks deliberate, but no, that's real. Valdez, I believe, was the person who shot the man, and he was asking questions or whatever, but don't quote me on that. There were multiple people involved on his end. And yeah. That's horrifying shit. That's some true old internet fucking just there's a subreddit called like classic depravities of the internet, and that's one of them. Don't fuck with the cartels.